The Blue Mountains are only a 45-minute drive west of Sydney. Over the next 20 minutes, we'll explore some sites around the mountains. We'll have a look at some birds, but we'll also go to some locations with some great views. Our first stop will be in a suburban street in Emu Plains at the base of the Blue Mountains, where there's been reports of a very rare honeyeater. The little wattlebird is part of the honeyeater family, but is not the rare honeyeater we came to see. The honeyeater we were waiting for was in the tree above the grevillea, waiting for the little wattlebird to move along. This is a critically endangered Regent Honeyeater. With only a few hundred of them left in the wild, zoos in Victoria and New South Wales have been captive breeding them and then releasing them as part of an effort to increase their populations. The plan looks to be working, with numbers in the wild seemingly increasing. Eventually the wattlebird moved on and the Regent Honeyeater came down so we could get a much better look. If you've never visited the Blue Mountains before, one place you have to come is Echo Point at Katoomba. Incredible views of the Three Sisters. Walking the trails around Echo Point, you're very likely to hear the superb lyrebird. And if you're lucky, you might even get one crossing your path. Do you want to see the lyrebird imitating a whole lot of other birds? Check out my video from the Blue Mountains Botanic Gardens. Mount York is worth a visit. For early pioneers, it was one of the trickiest parts of the mountain to build a road through. Now it is great for camping, bird watching, and looking at the views. One of my favourite hikes to do in the Blue Mountains is the Blue Gum Swamp Track, just north of the little town of Winmalee. Definitely one of the highlights of the trail is walking along these giant blue gums with a thick undergrowth of ferns. At certain points you'll hear the distinctive sound of the bell miner. While walking through the dense blue gums, you might hear the distinctive call of the fan-tailed cuckoo. Easily identified by their yellow eye ring, and they generally have a dark slate grey back and wings, with a boldly barred black and white undertail. Like most Australian cuckoos, the fantail cuckoo is a brood parasite, laying their eggs in the nests of other species of birds. Some of their host species include flycatchers, scrub wrens, thornbills, and prairie wrens. A single egg is laid in the nest and one of the host's eggs is removed. The young cuckoo generally hatches earlier than the host's eggs and proceeds to eject the other eggs or hatchlings. One of Australia's smallest honeyeaters is the eastern spinebill. Easily identified by their long, down-curved bill. They sometimes hover like a hummingbird when feeding on the nectar from flowers, where most Australian honeyeaters will feed from a perched position. Now we're going to a couple of lookouts near Wentworth Falls. One to actually look at the waterfall, and another one to see the view from Lincoln's Rock. Now we're heading just to the other side of the Blue Mountains, to a town called Lithgow. We're in a forest nearby. There's a whole lot of gang cockatoos. The gang cockatoo is endemic to southeastern Australia, where they prefer the alpine regions as they love cooler bushland. This is an adult female, pretty much grey all over, except for the orange bars on the breast and belly feathers. The gang has an unmistakable call. It sounds like a creaking gate, or a cork being pulled from a bottle. This is a younger male, just starting to get its red on the top of its head. And this is the male, with its gorgeous red helmet and curled crest. They like to eat insect larvae, nuts, eucalypt seeds, and the fruits, especially of these introduced hawthorn berries.